Hey all listeners, now it's part 19 of the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion Remastered Master Playthrough. And yeah, I was completely off with what I said in the previous videos, the part it was. But I actually corrected it because, of course, I can go in on YouTube and you check what my latest upload was, which I'm doing like all the time now just to make sure, if I don't remember what it was. So you can see we're still on Master difficulty, of course, obviously. And we are continuing where we left off, and yeah. Now keep in mind, of course, that we could have made like the game really easy if would have used quote unquote stayed at low level. By the way, we could have like made the game really easy if we would have wanted to that way. But yeah, so we're not using the Fox ring now, so we have 10% less. Now in terms of the thing, because we are using the ring, the Spectre ring. Now here's the thing, right? The Spectre ring was in the original game, but the Spectre ring. And it's a bit weird there that you cannot change page on it or whatever on the Spectre ring there. So basically you need to go in here and then go to the side there. But supposedly there is supposed to be a way to basically, move that down there as you can see and stuff that you are supposed to be able to somehow move the thing. Right, so you can see like all the effects there and stuff that, to like actually, so yeah. You see things and it drains endurance, but yeah. And the Spectre ring was existed in the original code, but it was never like you could never like get it and stuff that. So that is something. So we still need to do this one, of course. Obviously, I can remember the thieves or Miss Guild in order: 20 vampire dust and 20 died hearts. So I wonder if that is used to resurrect the person that died or whatever. If that is the case. What towns have alchemists though? Like do all towns have, or do they actually tell you? Because I do remember right when we checked here certain things and stuff that yeah, so yeah, minor occasions of those, like the birdside stones, heaven stones, runestone, alien veins, and way shrines. Where do we have it? Do we have the shop thing somewhere? Bartering? Nope. Do we have like alchemy? Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Maid's Guild. Well, you need to reach a certain rank before you can actually use the duration thing. Yeah, like soul games are the only one that can trap humanoid soils. Oh, soils. Some humanoid soils. Yes. 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 Those kids will be permanently lowered. So you can do that to basic to oh yeah, that's feminine for me. Famous trait. Heroism. Yeah. Infamous opposite of fame. High fame or high infamy are sometimes required to solve specific quests. Yeah. So there is actually a reason to be infamous, except I forgot exactly what quests there are that you can specifically do. But I thought there was somewhere that it actually did it had it to do with maybe it had to do with the skills themselves. No. Yeah, let's go down here because I think it might had to do with like no. I thought they said somewhere about something. I remember there was in a certain thing where it said restoration found on animals. Found animals made skilled, mysticism, Levin's made skilled, illusion, Brabble, Skinger destruction, conjuration, Shorals, made skilled. Oh, Shoral. I haven't been there in a while in Shoral actually. let's go to Coros Melee because we should still be able to buy there. And stuff that, and now that we have a lot of cash, we might still be able to actually get some really, really good spells. And stuff that, what is our infamy cost way higher than the fame? Now the question is like how do you get fame once you have done like most quests in the game? Because I believe you can still earn infamy just by like attacking people, but do you earn like fame, for example, for killing like bandits? Like, do that actually give you fame?
Not too bright. Their pincers are sharp, though.
The princess are also mud crabs, you hooligan mud crabs. And so that's how the spell key is hard. So I mean, this does not count as like steal, or I mean, you're not allowed to steal, but as long as there isn't a steal icon. Surrogate soul game, yeah, that's called stealing. That's called stealing. Because I'm called stealing, okay? Good soul game, great soul game, yeah. Oh, right, because we don't count as being a member. With I forgot. Are you the conjuration guy? Are you the old man?
Go ahead. I can't.
Yeah, I can invest into his shop eventually. Oh, hopefully you don't have to be a member to actually do the shopping. You shouldn't need to actually, I don't think. Maybe you do, because we don't count as being a member, correct? Currently, no. Because we did get kicked out, of course, obviously, so... because we're not allowed to go upstairs. Let's wait until... Okay, so 7, 8, 9 in the morning. I'm after midnight.
You have been... He can be found at the...
What do you want? Half. Always keep your magical equipment charged.
Nah. Okay, so the price is still expensive even though he has little cash. Okay, that's good to know at least and stuff that, but yeah. But you should often use up all the charges.
You have been... He can be...
Oh. Help. Yes?
You're a spell
Have a
guy.
look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you.
Conjuration, Frost Antronak. Clan Fair. Skeletal Champion. Skeletal Hero. Daedra, Spider Daedra, Faded Wraith. And all of these are illusions here. Bound Sword, Bound Mace, Bound Shield. Bound Grace, please. Bound Mace, Bound Sword. You can dismiss Undead, boom.
Tell your friends about it.
Farewell.
So now we should have like a fucking Giga Chad. Now we're gonna have like the fucking Giga Chad followers and so that's Conjuration is currently at 81, so we can almost cast the best conjuration spells. And so Daedra is 108, Flame Drak, Frost Antronak. So now we can summon, of course, Skeletal Guardian, Skeletal Hero, and Skeletal Champion. Skeletal Champion, main problem is though it's only 25 seconds. And yeah, and here's the thing, right? Champion is only slightly better than Hero, I believe. So we're gonna go with this for now, Skeleton Hero. And Spider Raider is only 20 seconds though, so Spider Raider is not worth using. But it's good to have all of the different ones here, so... We had another good one here though. The faded rate is 40 seconds though. The Clan Fear is 45 seconds. Do we use some Clan Fear because that is 99. For something like it's 35 seconds so. Let's be the data is 20 seconds. Yeah, some Clan Fear I think. Sounds good. To set Clan Fear, then we have. Then we put the heal here. Heal major wounds. So we cast Protector if we can even cast it. But then we put Adrenaline Rush followed by War Cry. And then here we put... Can we just remove from the slot here? If we want to. Can we just... I thought there was a way to remove something from the slot somehow. Yeah, let's just... Bound Seal is 120 seconds. Bound Craze is 60 seconds. So that's important to know. Some Clan Fear, some Skeleton Hero. Some Clan Fear cannot even cast that yet. So that's the Skeleton Hero, which has some Ebony stuff. At this point, that's Ebony, right? Oh, that's Ebony.
Hello.
That Honditar sure knows his way around this area. Have you spoken with him recently?
I spoke to him recently. He really knows
Oh,
his way around.
my
Knows every
dinosaur.
tree, rock, and cave in the area. Take care.
Hello.
Good to see you. Lots of dogs in this town.
Go ahead.
Lots of dogs in this town.
What do you want? Find only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in?
Bound boots, bound gauntlets, bound greaves, okay. Bound gauntlets, bound boots, bound war axe. Specifically.
Come back and see. Pay attention, and you. Farewell.
Okay.
What do
Now you actually have.
Let's see if we can't teach you a thing or two.
Now you have
Only
some.
quality goods for sale here. What
It
can I
would,
interest you in?
it would be fun if they actually sell the stuff that we need. That would have been fun to sell. Ooh. Nah, that's only great. So, ooh, that's a Grand Soul though. That's an actual Grand Soul game. But it's expensive. Yeah. I'm not going to invest in that when we have little cash. I'm trying to check if they have, if they happen to have like Vampire Dust or the other thing. Do we happen to have Vampire Dust? Nope.
Good day.
Okay. So, Skeletal Hero, heal my wounds, protect the walk around shield. Skeletal Hero, what's everything?
How are you?
You have the
What do you... Have a look around. You won't find...
hands of a healer.
Okay. Open data call. Of course, we need of course the what quest are we on? Right, we're still on that. So 21 Vampire Dust and 20 Dire Hearts. Yes. Of course, we're almost at 10, and yeah, 20 Vampire Dust. I know that we have sold Vampire Dust to certain vendors. And I mean, I know that it's not guaranteed that they keep the stuff that I've sold to them and stuff like that, but still, you know.
What can I... Go ahead. I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
Okay, you have some nice stuff. You have an Elven Claymore, you have Eat Shell, which I guess is Fire Shield. 100% fire shield though. So that matches the spell. You have no Resida special. Some minutes for gloves.
Good day.
Just the gloves that she should be wearing when she's smithing. Actually, that makes a lot of sense, right? But you know, like, you know, because it is so stupid that in Skyrim you can use immediately, because you don't need your skill level at a certain thing, right? Of course, you need to actually learn certain like things that make certain things better, you know, of course, but still. Right. So I don't remember if we need to do the whole thing with him to go inside the
How are
sewers.
you?
Yeah, we don't have any bounty currently.
Can I help you? A short stay. He's just the nobility. A short stay at our lovely Imperial prison should cool your enthusiasm for a life of crime. The drunk tank in particular. You're talking to me, and I don't like... Farewell, citizen.
Sadly, you cannot get like the palace guard armor. I don't think there's any way of that. Like there are certain armors that, I mean, they exist like code-wise, right? But you cannot like get them anywhere and stuff that. Oh, 12. Ooh. Come on. Come on. No. Not that part of the quest yet. Normally, I believe during the speedrun, at least in the original game, I don't even think you had to do the sewer part. Although there is a quicker way to reach that sewer location, if I remember correctly. If you have done like the greatest heist, there is like a quicker way into it. Because it's here. I think it's this one that we're supposed to take. Right. Right, and this is Fatih's ruler's basement. Actually, we shouldn't waste charges on that. How many charges do we have left now? We have 16 charges left. Yeah. Little War has no charges right now. But let's go with Bounce Zone instead. Even though we lose some armor from that. And I believe we have 73 right because of the fact that we have the shield spell. That's actually what's giving us so much, I think. Alright, we also have heavy armor at 90 and light armor at 79, but all of our armor pieces, most of them light armor, that's heavy armor though, light armor, headgear is light armor as well, so yeah. Now the thing that I'm thinking about though is that, for example, that if we use, for example, the bounce stuff here, some of these, right? Like the shield definitely lasts long enough for us to take damage on it and then repair it. Like, is it going to be a light shield? Is it going to be a heavy shield? You know, and stuff that. Like, what type of shield is it going to be? What type of decoration is going to be? So let's start here. The shield we summon is what exactly? You are a light armor shield. That is very, very good. Yes, I definitely want that. Right, and do we have a weapon that lasts long enough? Do we have a weapon that lasts long enough? I don't think we do. We do have a sword at last, but that's only like 15 seconds. Like then you have to take damage like extremely quickly. But we do have bound craze, which is what? Is it going to be a light armor or is it going to be heavy armor again? Yes, that is still heavy armor. I already have one of those, so I'm not going to care about that. I just want to check because the helmet we have is of course already light armor and stuff like that because we are searching for the ones that are light armor. Bound the boots. The boots are what? Boots. The boots are light armor. Boots are light armor. Gauntlets are light armor. I mean, we already had a gauntlet still, but we already had gauntlets. We don't have greaves yet. We do not have greaves yet. Greaves are heavy armor. Gauntlets light armor. Cuirass is heavy armor. Greaves are like. Because greaves are heavy armor. Interesting thing to know. Helmet, of course. We already have a helmet, so you know. So that's a whole full set then. Cuirass greaves. Yeah, we already have gauntlets. We already are wearing a helm. That has been enchanted as well, but yeah. So we already have a heavy armor craze, but one that's unenchanted. And we already have some enchanted gloves here with 10% shield. So yeah, so we need to take damage. Or basically get, because here's the thing, right? Once we're repaired enough to where this is 75, then you can use repair it immediately, by the way. You can use repair stuff immediately, and stuff that, and then it could be like really, really good and stuff that, you know. So, one thing you could do, of course, is just create a spell that hits yourself. You can just create a spell that hits yourself. Come on, please. Attack me. My stuff is taking damage. Greaves is taking damage. Okay, I think that's enough to do the thing. I think that's enough. Now we can repair here. And then drop the bound stuff. Shield, Greaves, Cuirass. But we can drop Shield and Greaves. We can drop Shield and Greaves. Shield, drop Greaves. And then the bound Cuirass doesn't matter because that's heavy armor. We already have that type, so now we wait. We just wait for it to run out. Wait for that to run out. Then we'll pick it back up. Bound Shield, bound Greaves. Good. Now we can equip bound Greaves. Which basically we already have those with the shield on it, but this one provides more armor than the bound shield. So this one provides less armor and stuff like that, but of course that's bound Greaves. So now we have those. This is a better shield than the Ebony shield. Yeah. But if we want to wear full light armor, then there are certain things we want. But we need to be using the bound boots, by the way. We need to be using that spell. The bound boots. Because we already have gauntlets and we have greaves now. We have the shield now. Right. So we have the shield, we have the greaves, we have the gloves already. If you want to slide on there, we already have that. So the only thing we need now is the boots. And then we would need to somehow hope, and that there is a version of the thing. Maybe it's not called cuirass, maybe it's basically like bound cuirass, for example. Maybe it's like bound something else. Like bound, not breastplate, but well, you know what I get, right? Or is the chest piece always going to be that type? So this is the boots, yes. That's just some of the boots. But again, it's light armor. So the boots were the only thing we're missing. Although technically we give up on our certain boots already. I mean, we give up on the glass boots that we have, but still. And the head pieces I've already said is light armor, so yeah. So, if we want to go full light armor, that is, because the shield is not really, really good, because the shield is a light shield. The shield is not like heavy armor and stuff that, which is good. And the shield will of course, if we put shield on all of this stuff, we will be having an insane amount of armor value. Keep in mind right that this, yeah, it's still master difficulty. Because ghost crabs aren't really a problem to kill and stuff that, But mud crabs, so do that, do that, do that. They are still pretty frosty. So, you're in here now, okay.
I know the part of the sewers you were...
Okay. So once we can get into combat, basically.
This one's mine!
Yeah, I really want to take actual damage on the boots and stuff, that's why I can repair them. Okay. We just need to make sure that we cast that at the correct point here, because now we have basically all of the bound stuff that we need, basically, pretty much. Now, sadly, we already have those greaves, but these greaves are so much better, like jumping up from 6 to 11 and stuff that, so yeah. But the greaves are heavy armor, that's why. So that still is 85, even though this shouldn't. I think 85 is actually our highest armor value normally and stuff that, you cannot go above 85. But I believe with shield spell it should still work, I think. Because we are currently still right at 40% shield, yeah, 40% shield there. Because I think at the 85 is the highest, right, and then it stacks, I think, with certain things, but yeah.
Over here! Look out!
We can actually sneak with him now also as well, so. So that's the only problem with that's heavy armor. I need to remember that the greaves were heavy armor. But everything else, right, or basically chest piece and greaves have been heavy armor. That's the only thing that's been heavy armor. And I don't know if there exists version of the pieces that are not heavier.
Get my back!
Sorry, Barrows. Sorry, very sorry. Of course, the best thing, if we take enough gear damage, then we can just repair stuff, Okay, good. So, master. And it's fun that we are actually all beginning to be able to take combat now. We're probably not going to be able to fight everything and stuff like that, but still, you know. Waterworks, yeah.
Look out! The training of thousands. Quickly now.
Please make me take boots damage, please, 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 please. I want to take boots damage, please. If I do boots damage, then it's really good. We did not take boots damage. Maybe we took some chest damage. But the thing is, of course, here's the great thing. Once this is 75, for example, you can repair items beyond the maximum durability. And that also means, for example, that once you immediately summon something, then, for example, bound boots, bound bow, bound grid, bound dagger, bound gauntlets, bound greaves, bound helmet, bound mace. So we could, for example, bound a mace to have instantly basic. So we can basically eventually have one of each type of weapon being bound. And the good thing about being bound is that you weigh 0. And stuff that now sadly the Frostmourne here, of course, is not bound. Maybe it was bound and then it becomes unbound when you because you bound it with a sigil stone or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying?
Stick together! Parry and strike! Over here! Here!
Okay, please. Please, Mr. Mucktrab. Fuck me up. Mucktrab, what are you doing? You're running away, Mr. Mucktrabs. Okay. Oh, what the? No? That's the thing there.
Watch the flow!
Oh, that's a lot of damage all of a sudden. Ah. No potions. Adrenalinrush. Orkray. Orkray. Mr. Skeleton. Go, Mr. Skellington. Defend your master. They used camp there, Mr. Skellington. He's like, where you go? Haha, I can go through the wall, Mr. Skellington be like. Hello, Mr. Skellington. I know this is pretty funny, man. He has probably already killed all of them now. Was that the goblin that's casting the lightning, or is it a fucking zombie that can all of a sudden cast fucking lightning? Don't let him come to me, Barrows, please. Please don't find me. Damage reduction, bitches. Okay. Silver dagger. Ice storm. That means that it's very powerful if it has Ice Storm prefix. Yeah, frost damage on target, 30 points. Also, this one will have more shards. Okay, so 14 shards still, but that's actually very good. Yeah, my thing has less shards, so we can use the staff. We can do 30 damage, and then it has like 10 feet radius, so it's basically like an AoE spell. That's actually pretty dope. How much? Normally I would use rest at this point, but I mean, we can use to keep casting this spell over and over again, and that's very good. So let's save here. Yeah, so spells are a problem. Yeah, we can still take a fucking shit on like the majority of damage we took there. All that damage was from spells. Keep that in mind, right? That damage we took was not from spell specific. But here's the thing, right? So we did get like the whole resist magic thing, correct? We did get like a resist magic thing, but they don't show up here because basically it's shock shield and stuff like that. But for example, I believe the actual minor magic resist, as you can see there, for example, there is a 50% magic resist, and that's actually a restoration spell. So, which is weird, but that, for example, means that if you want to get very, very good black spell magic resist, then we need very, very good restoration stat, and our restoration stat is at very, very high at this point, at 77. So, and keep in mind that it has been all from casting like a heal May of wounds mostly and stuff that, so yeah, Because now the heal May of wounds is pretty cost effective, healing 25 for 21, which, I mean, our spell pool is still not very high at 158 Magica, so, Right, there were 2 Goblin Shamans, that is why. So I think I actually got hit by the lightning spell like twice or something like that. That's what actually ended up happening. And stuff. Great. Nope. And you're a what? A Goblin Warlord was here with arrow of glittering, dude. Agility, endurance, intelligence, lack personality, speed. So, Hey man, that's arrows of glittering, and that's enchanted with something. It's poison, but I don't know really with what. But hey man, I'm not gonna say no to a bow that can poison. Bound bow is technically better, but still. But can I see? I cannot see what you're poisoned with currently. Yeah, sometimes, of course, something you can do, for example, like let's say you don't want to carry a certain piece of gear, for example, like you saw his silver axe, for example, like, yeah, maybe you don't want to carry that, but if you see that something is damaged, for example, you can pick it up, but only if that's been damaged enough to be worth, like, repairing this, that's it,
Over here!
Just let him kill the mud crabs. And he has an ebony. No, that's actually the katana that he has. It's his katana is special, if I remember correctly. It's not just a regular version of it. I know that there's also supposed to be one shop somewhere that sells those katanas, but I believe the shop.
Together!
Paris, please. Well, that's what it does. Okay, so he needs to stay in a certain location. Is this, you mother honker? I must screw you up. Item does not have enough charge. That was actually pretty crappy there for some reason. Yeah, that definitely feel like, yeah, that 30 damage is good, but they need to actually stay in it, it seems like. But then I don't have any charges on that, so that's pretty bad. But yeah, so Mr. Skellington, you're gonna have to say me once again, Mr. Skellington, Mr. Not Skeleton Champion, Skeleton Hero. Right, yeah.
Stick together! Whoa! Look out! Quickly now. Wrong move.
Right. Why gotta be like this, man?
This one's mine.
Right, we do have potions. Some potions and lotions. That's a fire shield. That wasn't a fire spell, that was a lightning spell that he has. Come on, sneaky skeleton. Bitch. I'm gonna fuck them in the face. Goblin Warlord, you have an Elven sword, you have that. You have a light iron shield, which is pretty swag.
Parry and strike. A little closer. Quickly.
There's a staff of Cedric. Heal. Right. Repair. More skill ups. Nope, not yet. Almost. Okay, so we picked up an Elven sword. And we got like the stuff of wisdom is not particularly good because, you know, we used up the shards, less stuff for serving, yeah, that's damage magic on target. Which, you know, would be great, but the fact that they have staffs that they are using is really what is the problem. Right. The Warlord had no additional, like he didn't have any particular thing. Yeah. Barrows with it. You went to here, correct Barrows. Barrows? Nah. He went somewhere else. Sometimes I forget where he goes. Let's actually rest up here a bit. Just set up on how to save. Right. Back up. Again, maybe. Okay, so chest with potion saucer. Elven Garden sewers. It's back to the Elven Garden area again, and we are at. Okay, so we're here. And sometimes it has to do with where certain gates are. That's why you go this way sometimes.
Over here!
Once we reach a certain point, by the way, you can actually die and stuff that. which is why I'm pretty certain we have some healing spells here. I'm pretty certain we choose some healing spells here. Nope, we did not. I thought I made sure to get... No, wait, target. It might be target here. No. Yes, we don't have... I thought we had gotten one of the convalescence spell at this point, though. Apparently not.
Over here!
Of course, we have the skeletal hero that we can use. Yeah, sure, Barris is doing a lot of the job, but the skeleton is definitely helping, you know, because we definitely saw that the skeleton can
Get
do
my
stuff.
back.
Yeah. I mean, it's still doing decent damage even without its like insult and stuff that, you know. Which is you eventually of course start reaching that point where even like without insults we do a lot of damage. Let's go. This is it, yeah.
I happen to know that if... I think I'd better be the one to handle the meeting. You'll be my backup. No, it should be me. I have a blood debt to repay these... Very well, we'll do it your way. Be careful and remember... Listen. That I'm lucky you're here to...
Okay. I forgot if we can be like stealthed or not. Because there are certain cutscenes that mess up if you're being stealthed.
For Uriel Septum!
Brothers, kill them!
See, that was a very good way to do things.
Lord Dagon will welcome your soul in Oblivion!
It's basically fully healed now.
Paradise awaits me.
All of a sudden shit on numbers.
Training of thousands is past. Wrong.
Right, we only needed him. In that magical drain. Mundane ring. Ooh! Best ring in the game. Best ring in the game, we got it. Best ring in the game. This used to replaces immediately. This used to replaces. Damn. I really like the chameleon effect from this. But this one also drained strength and endurance. Yeah. So respect the ring. Mundane ring. So here's the thing. This has 35% spell reflect and resist magic 50% on stealth. However, so let me explain reflect spell. Reflect spell is the strongest stats in the entire game because reflect spell is the way you can become immune to everything in the game. And you might say, but it's only spells. But that's actually wrong. Because reflect spell, it is wrongly worded. Because it's not reflect spell, that's not what it does. It basically reflect damage is the correct name of it. So it works like a damage reduction, but not the normal way. So if you have a spell reflect of say 10%, for example, or like the spell here that is a spell reflect spell here, superior spell reflect, and that's 20% for 20 seconds. But you see how what the magic cost would be. That would be 324. And so we have very low mysticism at this point, but still. So 324. And that's 20%. You might say, but how can it be so expensive when it's only like 20% like reflecting spells? That doesn't sound very powerful. But it's a 20% damage reduction from everything. So the way the reflect works, it takes damage, physical damage you take. It's also someone attacks you with a weapon, but it also works with someone attacking you with spells. So it reflects 20% of the damage back to the attackers. 20% of the damage that you take, you don't take. So something deals 100 damage, it removes 20% of that damage, basically, pretty much, and it reflects it back on the attacker. Meaning, reflect spell cap is 100%. Then it basically takes. Then you're basically immune to every single damage type in the game. So having reflect spell being at 35% here is absolutely insane. And also, of course, because we have systematic now 50%, so mundane ring is really insane. There's a reason why it's worth 21,600. So once you get mundane rings, basically, of course, what you want to get is 2 of these, because then you have resist magic 100%, and you have like what's this 70% reflect spell. So then you're basically like the best tank in the game. So now all of a sudden, we won't need to fear them. You saw all of a sudden now we're all of a sudden insanely tanky. All of a sudden now.
Be glad you will not live to see the day Lord Dagon walks the earth. I do not fear death. Strike. Training of thousands has passed through me.
That's 3 more that won't be
Ring of Storms, resist choke, okay.
reporting back to their master.
Don't go to no guilty, and now we read the book, of course. Obviously, we read the book. And I believe that's a 100% drop, by the way. The thing I'm pretty certain is 100%, by the way. Okay. So that's enough to level up. We're at 69. Nice. And you can see now all of a sudden we're very tanky and stuff like that, and you know. Now that ring, the Storm ring, is also very, very good. I have had one of those type of rings before, but that's actually a pretty decent ring as well. And yeah, actually, remove Ring of Shadows. We don't need the Chameleon effect anymore. We need the Ring of Storms effect though. Because that also means that, okay, now we resist the shock, and shock is what they were using, specifically the goblins that were annoying with the damage and stuff. That's yes. So, you know. So you want to wear things that make you tankier and stuff that. And now, of course, we have Ring of Shadows and Spectre Ring, but we're probably not going to sell them. We're probably just going to stash them. Stuff that. So yes. So again, there are some bound stuff, of course, we want. We're not using Reeves. We are using gloves. We did get a bound shield. But then we cannot replace that, but we can eventually replace the boots. So that because that's the only thing that we needed to replace. Unless there is a different version of the bound spell here, or the bound, like instead of Grace being something else, basically. Same thing with Greaves, there needs to be a different version of the spell. So that summons the light version, because there needs to be a light version of the chest piece. So there was no. Did we save there? I don't remember if we did, but let's save here. Whereas you came from up here, right? Yeah, there were other sewers. Do you have stuff here? Let's get on rope, let's get on rope. Gold. We might still get good stuff here actually. What 50? Oh wow, Greaves of Everlasting. Those aren't bad. And that's actually pretty insane. Greaves of Everlasting. I mean, I'm not gonna say that they're the best Greaves in the world, but they're actually currently stronger than the light armor boots that we already have. Or, I mean, it's not boots, but it's Greaves, so it's actually weaker than the Greaves we have here. But they are stronger than these Greaves. They are stronger than the shielded Greaves that we have, for some reason. No, they're not. They have 5 armor, these have 6 armor, so they're just slightly weaker, but... It's... No, it's 45 fatigue. Yeah, man, I read that wrong. It's my bad. I mean, sure, having more fatigue is nice, but here's the thing, right? So, for example, if this would have been like, for example, like I thought that it was actually this stat, endurance, it increase your maximum health. Because if that would have been like 45 endurance, then that would have been so much extra health from wearing that. Like that would have been insane. I mean, I love the way this looks. For example, let's get more of those books because they're actually worth quite a bit to sell. But all very hard chest. I mean, we could get lucky here with loot because we have high luck stats, so you know. Because you can actually have 2 mundane rings, by the way, that's something like mundane rings stack. I'm pretty certain they do stack there. Let's get on things. So let's sleep in the bed. And level up. Level 25. 1 luck. And I've been spreading out a bit here with the stuff that we have been increasing, so something on that. Let's go actually with 5 in the speed stat instead. And then something we can put 3 into, we can put 3 into there to bring that to 40. Because I'm trying to keep certain things up to a certain level here and stuff like that. So, you know. Boom. And now that we're at that, yeah. Of course, so yes, the infamy makes it so that we cannot use it. Sewers. Yeah. Let's get our commentaries. That's number book 3. We have some gold here. Lockpicks. Gold. The septums, as it were. Right. Los Plaza sewers need a key. I'm gonna fuck you up. That's not very good. Let's get on hero. Or did take some damage here. Yeah, that wasn't a smart choice. I think there's a round way up of the sewers actually. If I remember correctly, there was actually several ways out of the sewers. Okay, that's Sylvan Gar sewers. So wait.